Alright, you guys. Ferrari, Safar. Oh, that is. Alright, my ours is coming out today.
How do you zoom in now?
Did you go all the way to the word gap?
Be careful.
Every time.
Yeah.
But I didn't count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
It's in the small.
Okay. Okay. All right. So his first tweet, and we're going to kind of work through it. Then I'm going to share the article with you. And really, the point of all this isn't about tweeting. It isn't about the Pope. It isn't about it. It is about, again, why you read stuff in the original language. Quid. Ooh. This is going to go slowly. What?
What? Oh, God. Somebody said what?
What does the Dominus, you bet. What does the Lord order those who are studentes? No. Those who are eager. Studios studere is to be eager for something, hence the word.
Yes.
Those who are really eager for unitati, for to unify Christi fidelium, of the Christian faith. So basically, what does the word require? Well, in the series of infinitives, it is to orare semper, to pray always, to factitare justitiam, to make justice, to amare, to love probitatem. We do get the word probity in English, which you probably don't know, which means uprightness, to love that which is right, and to ambulare, to walk humbly with him. Okay? You've got the essence of it. Now, the article. And this is very, very good, and I may share this with third year. This is a point of grammar which we may have talked about, or nonetheless I need to introduce. Okay. Skip it a little bit here. It says the news service Reuters, you know that, a couple R-E-U-T-E-R-S, performed a valuable service by quoting the University of Cambridge scholar Tamer Nawar, who teased out a nuanced translation of the Latin. So when the Reuters news service was reporting on the Pope's first Latin tweet, they included the English translation by this Cambridge scholar. Cambridge scholar says, what does the Lord command to those wholly eager for the unity of those following Christ? To always pray, we got that, orare semper. Let's skip the next part. To love uprightness, amare pro, we got that. To walk humbly with him, we got that. This is what the Cambridge guy put for that justitiam factitare. To continually do justice. What? Why did he put the word continually in? Can anybody spot why? We have talked about this.
Is it the future narrative?
It is not.
I forget the word, the particular kind of verb for ongoing action.
You got it. You're right on. It's called a frequentative. And I'm going to come back to the article in a minute. Let's review that. A frequentative verb is a first conjugation variant of some other verb. And you've seen this numerous times. We'll give you some examples in a moment. But when a verb takes on this frequentative form, it always goes into the first conjugation. Okay? Frequentative is we're saying here. Frequentative. And it's not only first conjugation, but it's usually marked with a T, the letter T. Factitare is the frequentative form of what base verb? Facio. Facio is to make. Factitare has that ongoing or continual sense. Hence, this Cambridge guy who put the word continually into the translation. To continually do justice. Yes, ma'am?
May I borrow your back to tea really quick?
Absolutely.
I have a little problem.
Absolutely. So, it carries that sense. Now, You have seen it in probably the most common example that you've seen, certainly even back to first year, is habeo habeira, which is second conjugation verb, which means what? To have. The frequentative form is habito habitare, which you know means to live. It's the place where you repeatedly have your life, which is a neat way of doing it. There's a frequentative form, cano. Canere, to sing, as a frequentative form, canto, cantare. And there's lots of things like that, okay? So this guy says, just to get this point, he says, true, this translation sounds more clunky in English than the Pope's, but it certainly exhibits an appreciation of all the subtlety packed into the Latin tweet. Says this author, for me, it demonstrates why knowledge of Latin is indispensable. Namely, that it can help one become attuned to subtleties and nuances of thought that would otherwise be missed. So, anybody who were to say, oh yeah, that basically just means to do justice. Not quite. It is to do justice, but it's more than that. And the more than that is contained in the fact that it's the frequentative form of the verb. So I keep coming back. This is why you read the stuff in the original language. Rachel.
Are there a lot of frequencies?
Not a lot, but I mean, I've never done a study of frequentatives, but I mean,
Hey
you know.
Perkins,
How often do you convey that?
Well, I mean, you can do it with an adverb.
Okay.
You can just use an adverb, for continually or often, or sipe is often. You can just do an adverb in there. And so Latin can do that, a little bit more discursive, but they can also be very compact as well. Just one example that I'll coop here. This isn't a frequentative, but it came up in the second year class just the other day, right? You all know what this is. What's bellum?
War.
War, right?
Sorry.
So is this. Bello bellare is to war.
To fight.
Now we do have that war as a verb in English. We just don't use it very much.
Oh, yeah.
One tribe warred with another. We don't really use that much. Now Latin could very well say bellum gerere, which is the basic idiom to wage war. But sometimes Latin will just use this nice compact verb, which means the same thing, but just a little bit more concise and compact in there. Yeah, Coop.
Do you think he's better than Latin than you are?
Who what?
Do you think he's better than Latin than you are?
Do I think the Pope is better
Yes.
in Latin than I am?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you
Yes.
think he just like speaks?
Yes. This is one of the most intelligent popes
Ever?
in, well, certainly in modern history.
Well, I mean, ever.
Is that a dig on John Paul II?
Listen, he's not a dig, but this guy, Joseph Ratzinger, was a scholar par excellence. The guy speaks half a dozen languages and writes in them. I mean, and so the dude is incredibly intelligent. Incredibly intelligent. So yeah, he's better at Latin than I am. I don't know how to answer. Ask the question.
I didn't know that about Pope. That's cool.
Yeah.
Feel a bit close to the Pope now?
Okay, you're feeling, like this, You and the Pope, just, okay. All right. There you go. There's nothing we will not talk about in this class. You realize this? I mean, we've ranged it all from Fast Times at Ridgemont High to the Pope. I mean, it's all there, yes.
Oh yeah, wonderful.
To bags of glass.
To back to glass. Rachel.
And baby jokes.
That sounds a lot like Micah 6:8, and I was just wondering why wouldn't he just
Quote.
put the verse?
All of us, including me, just got owned by that.
Wait, what?
She buzzed that. Sounds a lot like Micah 6:8.
What's Micah 6:8?
Give me a break,
It's in the Bible.
Rachel Stevens. Holy mackerel! Now I gotta look up Micah 6:8. All right.
That's pretty much.
And we wonder why we don't.
Oh, be quiet! You stop
I
it.
don't know.
Stop that. Oh, here. All right. Micah is a book of the Old Testament.
I thought it was.
Chapter 6, verse 8
Genesis.
says. Interesting. If they don't get into college and they don't get their Latin credit from the AP, it's your fault. Today, right here, today. Because now I'm going to go off on a whole little thing, and we're already 40 lines behind.
You're wasting more time by saying
I'm
this.
putting it on you. But listen, I want the disclaimer out there. This is not my fault.
It's
This is
recorded
not my fault.
too.
Oh, yes.
It is recorded.
It's not my fault.
I know.
All right. Now,
He does sound pretty.
just, by the way, for those who are interested in such a thing, there is a wonderful website called newadvent.org, and I think you just go to /Bible, and you can find both Old Testament and New Testament in 3 columns. The left-hand column is Greek, middle column is English, right-hand column is Latin. Or no, see, it's no, that's right, yeah. Greek on the left, English in the middle, Latin on the right. And so if you want that, it's a great reference. It's just where I went so I could get this quickly. All right, so Rachel is right. She's referencing Micah 6:8. Micah is one of the Old Testament prophets. Micah 6:8 says, quid dominus requirat a te. So we're going to rewrite this. Quid dominus requirat a te. And it is Facere Judicium.
Like, hey, plagiarism.
Plagiarize much?
Okay, Micah. No citation.
Dear Mr. Pope. Right, there
The
you
Pope
go.
is a plagiarist.
And Deligera Misericordium.
What?
Deligera Misericordium. At Solicitum Umbelar.
Turns out it's not some Pope's name. It's like, it literally.
And Solicitum
Some mask is a pain in the
Umbulare. Okay. All right. Rachel's right. Now, here's what the actual Old Testament Micah 6:8 says. Quid dominus requirat a te? What does the Lord require of you? That's been recast a little bit. What does the Lord order or command? And not you, but he puts it in third person, right? Those who are eager for unity and so forth. To justitiam factitare, to continually do acts of justice. This says facere judicium, literally to make judgment or justice. So that's similar, but it is, notice here's the base verb, facere, as opposed to factitare. To amare probitatem, to love uprightness. This says diligera misericordiam, to love, that's a synonym, to love mercy. Misericordium is really more mercy. And to walk diligently, this is more diligently with your God. Now,
That is so
clearly, he was referencing Micah 6:8. Why do you think the difference in words?
Difference in
Because he
meaning.
thinks he can do it better.
140 character tweet. I'm
Okay.
sure if you had it, if he went through the whole thing, he decided there was.
Wait.
I don't think so.
Let's
It was
cut
a
it.
little less.
You don't think so?
It might just be because
Okay, so
I'm pretty sure that was smaller.
I think it could be your handwriting that's killing me right now.
Well, it could be, but also, because see, this was addressed to what does the Lord require of you? And see, he wanted to get this part in, and so in order to do that, I'm sure he then rewrote it.
there's
Now,
another
I think he changed it just a
the
little.
fellow,
There's
the
a different
fellow,
message in the Pope's
the
tweet.
fellow who is the main Latin secretary for the Vatican is an American priest named Reginald Foster. And this guy holds summer institutes all the time for anybody, certainly have to be Catholic, who want to learn spoken Latin. This guy is big in the spoken Latin movement, and a lot of teachers have gone to his workshops and love him. Apparently, he's a really funny guy. And so my hunch is, I don't know if Pope Benedict himself actually wrote the tweet. Yes, he would know Latin far better than I do, even because he's such a brilliant man. However, I don't see him going, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. He's not going to count up letters. The man's got other things to do. Probably with somebody in Reginald Foster's office, or maybe he himself.
Well, still, they didn't cite the sources. And
Didn't cite the sources! However, if you're Rachel, you know the sources.
That's so impressive.
So, boom, I gotta say,
I'm blown away.
I gotta say, I'm honestly, more than all this, I'm more blown away by Ray. Can we get a little, you want a piece of duct tape? Duct tape! Duct tape!
She says,
No,
wait, somebody's in the church in Spain.
I can't reward for being smart. All right.
Actually, if I may, really quickly, just something to throw in here.
Yes.
It's interesting, you kind of highlighted the use of the frequentative. Of course, in the original text, we just have the standard infinitive.
Right.
And so, I mean, this perhaps may be a matter of his own sort of interpretation that it should be, the continuity should be emphasized.
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely. I would certainly see that for him
Right.
personally.
Sure, that's
This isn't
sort
a
of what's going on, I
one-time
think.
thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I helped an old lady across the street once. I've done my
Yeah, sure.
justice. I'm good.
Right.
You know, that this is
Right.
ongoing. Yeah, I think you're probably right about that.
Yes.
So, let's get back to the Latin. This is why we're doing this, right?
It was under my seat.
Right.
You're getting all wide. Hungry bastards will get us to us.
All right, so here we are. We left off last time. We got some people crossing over, some people not. And then, what's his name? Charon. He's like, I hate the living. All you breathing guys, exactly right. Yeah. What's that?
You think you'd be more sick of dead people than with that for eternity?
Yeah, but it's the living ones that cause the trouble. Because what did Hercules do?
Stole
Stole the dog. What did Theseus and Perithous do? Stole the lady, stole the queen of the underworld. So every time we bring one of you living guys, and
Isn't she kept there against her will?
all right. For my money, and I'm gonna make up a word, I think Kieran is just a vivicist.
He's against life.
Yeah, you're racist, you're making racial jokes, you're sexist, you're picking on one gender. He's a vivicist. He just doesn't like living people, right?
I'm gonna write that
That's a
down.
great.
Are you sure it's not already like a word?
Well, yeah.
No, I'm not. I don't think it is.
That could be somebody like.
Can I Google
Holden
it? Can I Google
Caulfield.
business?
Like,
That's fine.
Let's Google business.
Hey, stop being like kids like
It's
Mr.
like
These are going to be
That's right, yeah, right. Oh, that was good. Daniel says he's not a misanthrope.
Yeah.
Because he like he.
Me and Peter were talking about this.
He doesn't hate people, he just hates living people. Right, yeah.
So he's making discussions.
Yeah. Now, the Frisian Lattes, we were talking about her yesterday, she is who? The Sibyl, and it's this offbeat reference that only a nerd would get to Apollo. And she says, hey, Buster, you don't have to worry about us. She says, nullae hic insidiae tales. Nullae tales insidiae. Yeah, there are no such insidiae hic. No such plots here. Oh, no. We're not going to do anything. We're not going to steal the silverware. That's fine. Don't worry about it. There are no such plots here. Obsiste moeri, she says to him. Obsiste moeri. Cease. Now, what part of speech is moeri?
CRI. Oh, so that's future. It's a verb. So it's future verb. No, it's the other one. Why did I just say future verb?
It's a what?
Is it the third? No.
It's a non-active lasting a long time. It's a non-active, lasting forever.
Is it a free cookie?
No. It's a non-active, lasting forever.
Oh, is it with what we talked about yesterday with the deponent?
Non-active,
Passive.
passive, lasting forever. Thank you. It's a passive infinitive. It's a passive infinitive. Cease.
It's not.
Stop. How do you translate a present passive infinitive to be moed? Stop being moved. In other words, stop getting your knickers in a twist. All right? I understand you're upset, living people have done you wrong before. We're not like those other people. Now back off. Subsiste moed. Stop getting moved. Stop being moved about this. Nek wim tela ferunt. She says these tela, synonym for armor, these weapons that you see these guys have, they ferunt nek wim. They do not offer, they do not bring whim. Thank you. They're not bringing any violence. Okay? They're not bringing any violence here, these weapons. They're not here to hurt you. Licet ingens janitor antro aeternum latrans ex sanguis terra umbras. Right? Now they give you some help there with the licet in the footnote, and I think that's pretty good. That'll work for us.
So it is permitted.
It's permitted for us to go here, all right? So basically, as far as we're concerned, let the ingens janitor.
Huge.
Yep. What is a janitor?
Door guard.
That's that huge door guard. You know, that huge guardian of the door. In his antro. In his cave. Latrans aeternum. Barking eternally. Let him teriat ex sanguis umbras.
Frightened.
Let him frighten the ex sanguis terras, or animas, the bloodless souls. Now look, that dog of yours, he's there. Let him scare ghosts. All right, we got no business with him. Look, we're here. We got a mission. We got a destiny. I'm leading Aeneas here and Achates. We're not gonna cause you any trouble, so we'll let the dog bark. Let him. He can bark till the cows come home. Latrans aeternum. Let him go terrify bloodless souls. All right, he's not for us. So just let that go. Okay. Costa licet patrui servet proserbina limen. As far as all that goes, let Costa Proserpina, let pure Proserpina, chaste Proserpina, let her servet patrui limen. More in the sense of save or preserve or even tend to the limen patrui. Something about her uncle, the limen of her uncle. The threshold of her uncle. Now think about it. Pluto is her uncle, right? Do you ever think about that?
Well, Zeus
Because Pluto and Ceres would have been at the brother-sister level, so Proserpina would be at the niece to uncle relationship. So she's like, all right, don't worry about the dog. We're not going to take the dog. Let the dog just go bark and harass the bloodless spirits over here. Don't worry about the queen. Our boys here, you know, they can get plenty of action back up in the world. You know, they're war heroes. They don't need the queen. Just let her go, you know. Hang out at the threshold of her uncle. You know, that's not what we're here for. Okay? That's not what we're here for. This is Troilus Aeneas, brother. This is Trojan Aeneas. All right? It's Trojan Aeneas. Insignis. Distinguished. And I got a couple of adjectives of respect. In respect to his pietate, his piety, his loyalty, and in respect to his armies, his weapons. He's a good man. They kick your behind.
It
Yes.
says here under the text, paternal uncle
Yes.
instead of maternal
Yes.
uncle.
Yes. Maternal uncle is avunculus. It's actually where we get the word uncle. The word uncle comes from the maternal uncle, avunculus.
So shouldn't it be the maternal uncle? Is it the maternal uncle? Because I mean, the brother of her mother as opposed to her father.
You're right.
So did he have like a typo in this? Like,
See, he only had 140 characters to work with.
I mean, actually,
meter?
never doing meter.
Meter? Why does he say patruas here and not avunculus?
whoa.
I don't have time to write another article. I will look this up, but I'll think about it. I'll think about it. I'll get back to you.
Oh, that was your article?
No, not that.
Oh,
No, hell of
I
that.
didn't even write. I thought you meant write like an article
Oh.
like online. I was like, oh, so you just read your own stuff to us? Like,
Oh, no.
what pretend?
By the way, this gives you a great, this also gives you a great English adjective. Besides getting the derivative uncle, you're all on it today.
Oh, wait, Rachel.
So avuncular. Look at you with your avuncular
Make
minus
a
6'8".
Oh, we learned that.
Hey, what does avuncular mean?
Uncle.
Uncle-like. Yes, exactly. So sometimes, say you might have someone, perhaps like a coach or a mentor, someone who kind of fills that role close, a little bit of a mentor, a little bit of a leader type for you, and you might say you've got an avuncular relationship. It's like having an uncle. Yeah, that's
Are you
that's
sure she
good.
doesn't get duct tape? Are you sure she doesn't?
I'm giving you duct tape whether you want it or not. Now you should take out your color. I'm just going to give you something. What do you want?
Yellow.
The shiny.
Purple one.
Your call, kid.
Take a modern day approach.
Perfect.
We like shiny
You
things.
would go for the next to the bottom. All right.
Now tape her mouth shut so she can't answer any more.
This policy numbers are.
Yeah, you're supposed to be nice.
Yes.
I'm letting you guys answer
Your dad
questions.
was
That's
my
nice.
mom this morning.
Jack, you don't know anything.
It's okay what you do it. And it's also half of that's for avuncular. So okay. All right, half of that's for avuncular. Now. She said, this here's Trojan Aeneas, known for his loyalty and his weapons, who is descended. Going down, descending to his genitorium. Synonym for patrem. To his father. That's what's going on here. He's going to his father. He's going to the imas umbras. The deepest shadows of Erebus. Erebus is another word for the underworld. That's what we're doing here. That's what we got. That's what we're doing. We got real business here. Si te nulla movet tantae pietatis imago. If nulla imago, if no imago, if no image of tantae pietatis moete.
If no image of such piety.
Yeah. All right. If you don't care about such stuff like that, I mean, this is a dude who's gonna go see his dad. All right. What's wrong with you? But if that doesn't move you, cash talks loud. How about this ramam? She says. Remember the ramam, which is made of gold. Okay. Cash talks loud. Ad ramam hunk. She says agnoskas. Perhaps you may agnoskas. Perhaps you will recognize hunk ramam, this branch. It's kind of like maybe Mr. Franklin's got a little something to say about it. I mean, really, that's what she's doing, right? She's breaking out the money.
Gold or not?
So
Who
being
pays somebody with a
civil.
stick?
What's that?
Gold or not? Who pays somebody with a stick?
Who pays somebody with a stick? Who pays somebody with a 6-inch piece of paper?
Whoa.
With fancy green? That's just as goofy
It's actually
when you think
law.
about it.
Just want to put that out there.
Trauma 73.
You're going to law on presidential flash cards. All right.
It's cloth and paper. It's cloth.
And she apparent the ramam. Let's get this and we'll get your comment. She apparent the ramam. She discloses the branch which was la tebat weste. which was hiding in her robe. So she just goes,
Whoa.
maybe
Oh,
this.
How about
She knows
Remember
magic.
about this? Yes. Yes, Danielle?
So, like, she said in the attack Golden Branch, right?
Yeah.
So, being a civil, did she know that she was needed? Or-
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she told him, she
It
says,
wasn't
nobody
just
goes
like-
down there unless they have this.
Okay.
So she sent him to go there. Tumadex ira tum corda residunt. Wow. It says, then his tumida corda, swollen heart, residunt ex ira,
Receded back into it.
subsides from ira, from anger. He gets all calmed down. He's like, ooh, my precious.
Yeah.
Yes, you got the prototype for Gollum right here.
I'd be scared.
And he doesn't say anything further, right? Next Plotohis. He says nothing further to them. Ile admirans venerabile donum fatalis virgae longo post tempore visum. Caeruleam advertit pupim blah blah blah. Ile. He admirans venerabile donum. Admiring. This venerable donum. Gift, right? He's just staring at it, the gift of the Fatalis Virgae. Of the fate. Here's the deal. Fatalis looks like fatal.
Faithful.
It really you want fateful. Yeah, it's literally full of fate. And that's really what fatal means originally. And then by extension this is when you are fated to die, and then it comes to really have that purely that death significance.
Did awful ever like mean full of awe?
Absolutely.
No, yeah, it's like the.
Absolutely. Certainly in Shakespeare like that, for example.
Wasn't it spelled differently too? Wasn't 38 thrown in there? For the
Well, certainly before English was standardized, you get all kinds of stuff like that. I'm sure it was. But certainly awful is,
What happened? Why are people like, hey?
well, and terrible as well. It can be a very good word. Terrible in the original sense is able to inspire terror in someone else.
So that is
therefore very
terrible
powerful.
news could have once meant like that's fantastic. Like that's
Well,
terrible news.
hey, we're already deep in theology. Both of those words are used of God regularly
Yeah.
in earlier English. God is regularly described as awful and terrible. Full of awe and able to inspire fear. So that's very, very common. We really got to press on. Now, admiring this venerable gift of the fateful stick. Okay.
Come on, Frank.
At last, after a longo temporain, a long time, he advertit the Caeruleum pupim. I think it's interesting that it's Caeruleum.
It's blue.
It's a blue boat. It's an interesting little detail.
Like, it's just an dinky
It's
now.
blue. It's a little blue. Yeah, it's a little skiff. You know, right?
Nice baby blue and all this darkness.
Right. You know, it's got like some little name on the side, like the Sally Mae or something. You know, right?
Imagine like the scene where like it's like this dark, you know, like horrible things are happening, and like all this happens, you know, everything cools down. And goes, okay, see it, and like then it's like zooms out and you see
Yeah,
this
it's
like
like
goofy little
the-
boat that's been on.
Right, that's right. Yes, and when it pulls back, you realize it's this
It's like
little thing.
it's-
He turns the blue ship and propinquat the ripae. Approaches the shore. Okay. From there, alias animas quae per yuga longa sedebant, de turbant. I love this. So here he is, right there on the shore. She's got the branch. She's like, ooh. Just turn the ship around. Let's head toward the shore. Nice branch. Right, and then he gets there, and there's all these alias animas that are flitting around. All these other souls which were sedebant.
We're sitting.
They were sitting there for a longa yuga, throughout this long bench. All right, it's like the DMV when you go get your driver's license. All these people are in front of you. It's now serving number 2, and you got like 790. You know, there's all these people on the bench. They're all sitting there. What does he do to them? He deturbot them. He kicks them aside. Forget all you guys. I'm taking the living dude with the gold branch. He just kicks them aside. They've been sitting there, like I got a number.
That's
He
not
kicks
how
them
it went down for me
aside
when I got my license last year.
and locks up for
I'm a
us.
crazy old man with a branch.
And loosens
Loosens the, and a lot of these are terms you would not know. You have to look at your help here.
gangway.
The gangplank, or he goes, so he loosens the, lets the gangplank fall down so Aeneas and everybody can come on board. And at the same time, Akipit alio in gentem aineon. And at once he accepts or brings on board. Interesting how Aeneas is described here. In gentem. He's huge. I don't know that everybody suddenly has become a dwarf, but it's what we're going to get emphasized here in this next little bit is the mass, right, of this physical, living, and I do mean real. When you think about the word real, right, what Latin word is at the root of real?
Thing.
Thing, race, okay? When an idea has been realized, literally it has been thingified. Right, it's been thingified, it's been brought into reality. And so, where all these others are just spirits, they're disembodied, they are not real, they're not race, he is. And so his size and his very physical nature are being emphasized here. He brings him on board. And what happens at once? Gemwet supondere cumba sutilis. The sutilis cumba, that's where you get your word suture, by the way. The sewed up kumba, boat. Now, what that means is sewed up. It's not like, if you think like a canoe, which might be made out of one entire log that's been hollowed out or something. This was not. Like most boats, it's multiple pieces that have been attached and put together to make the boat. And because that's going to be important, that stitched together boat, it gamuit supondera. It groaned under the pondus. No, pontus is sea, pondus is weight. So Aeneas steps on board and everything starts to creak, because he gets into this boat. And because it was sewn together, it's pieces of wood, right? It acapit multam poludem. It accepted or took on much poludem.
Pollutants.
Well, much swamp water. It being Remosa. It being Remosa. Remosa is modifying the Kumba. The Kumba is Sutilis and Remosa, full of cracks. All right? Now, without the weight, the cracks would have been come together and sealed up and have been